Khamzat Chimaev is not ready for Kamaru Usman yet. Today's version of Khamzat Chimaev that fought Gilbert Burns is not going to beat Kamaru Usman for many different reasons. Wrestling doesn't look strong enough to do it. He doesn't move his head. He has a really good chin, so he will take a lot of punishment. But it was shown that Burns was able to hurt him a few times in the fight. And that was only for 3 rounds, where Khamzat was also gassing. And that kind of fight, Usman is not going to gas, as he's gone through something like that before with Colby Covington and showed to go 5 rounds, and not even getting tired. He'll have that level of power all the way until the 5th round. The other thing is, Usman straight punches, that jab, the right cross, even switching into southpaw, he will be able to tag Khamzat Chimaev whenever he wants. And Khamzat doesn't have the luxury of using his reach and size as a crutch in that one. He was starting to show better distance management in that 3rd round against Gilbert Burns, but it doesn't even matter if he goes up against Usman, because Usman is going to be able to hit him wherever Khamzat is going to be able to hit Usman. And also, when you talk about the experience factor, that was one of the biggest weaknesses for Khamzat in that fight with Burns. He was looking for power shots and knockout blows the entire fight. When you look for the knockout, they generally do not happen. And Gilbert Burns doesn't really have a good chin. Usman has a great chin. If you can't knock out Gilbert Burns fighting that way, you're definitely not going to knock Usman out. But at the end of the day, Khamzat beat Gilbert Burns. A lot of people seem disappointed in Khamzat, but they shouldn't. Nobody should be disappointed in Khamzat. Maybe only in himself for his performance, that he probably wanted to fight better. He probably wanted to be more technical in the fight, just like his coaches were telling him. Nobody else should be disappointed in Khamzat Chimaev, because he beat the number 2 ranked fighter in the world. Yes, everybody believed that he would be this next big star, that unstoppable force in the welterweight division. He still can be that. But what Khamzat did tonight is a very special thing. Going from being the number 11 fighter in the world to beating the number 2 guy, even if it is in a close fight, that is an accomplishment in itself. That is success. Most fighters in history would not be able to make that happen. Khamzat Chimaev has only been doing MMA for 4 years. He's only just developed his striking. He's 27 years old. He beat the number 2 contender in the world in his 5th UFC fight. Under those circumstances, he is not supposed to win. The fact that he was victorious is not only great to see, but it also humbles a fighter like Khamzat. The amount of experience and knowledge you gain off of a fight like that can do a fighter wonders. For an example, look at with Israel Adesanya. A lot of people thought that Adesanya was done with a couple times in his career, or at least he wasn't going to be that star. First, it was the Marvin Vettori fight, which was extremely close. Then he had some good performances, and then he almost got knocked out by Kelvin Gastelum a couple times in the fight. After that performance, people were sure that Robert Whittaker was going to beat him, but that wealth of knowledge, what Israel Adesanya was able to gain from that Kelvin Gastelum fight, that kind of war made him a different fighter, mentally more than anything else, and he fixed his technical approach to it. And then Israel eventually did become that star that people doubted after the Kelvin fight. Look at Conor McGregor for an example. A lot of people did not think he would beat Jose Aldo after that Chad Mendes fight, because he looked like he was in trouble in there. But those kind of performances kick that fighter into the next level. And that's exactly what might happen with Khamzat Chimaev if his head is on the right shoulders. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually Khamzat Chimaev will become a champion. The fact that he is a top 5 fighter in the world with as little of experience as he has is already a special thing. I mean, it's almost guaranteed he's going to make it big one day. And he can even come sooner than we think. They're already talking about putting him up against Colby Covington. If he gets better from this time until then, training what he learned from that Gilbert Burns fight, and comes out as Khamzat 2.0, he could become the best welterweight on the planet. But that is to be seen. That is only speculation. Everybody grows in a different rate. Everybody adds on different things to their game. And that Colby Covington fight is a great fight to put together for him. Stylistically, it's more doable than him fighting Usman. It will challenge him in a different area of the game that he's going to have to prepare himself for before he fights the champ. The cardio issue. Colby's going to push him. Colby's not as dangerous as Burns or Usman or something, so he's really going to test Khamzat's cardio. How far can he go at a fast pace? That is the next learning lesson for Khamzat Chimaev when he goes up against Colby Covington. We've already seen him go through the war. We've already seen his chin, his power, his ability to adapt in a fight, because remember, in that 3rd round, he fought differently than he did in the 1st and 2nd against Burns. He was actually fighting a lot smarter and made the adaptations mid-fight. That is something that a lot of young fighters will never do. And if he's able to get by Colby Covington and make this cardio issue not an issue anymore, he may be very well ready for Usman by next year.